Let's talk about the disturbing culture of paparazzi stalking and the toxic beauty standards that celebrities like Sydney Sweeney are constantly battling. Now you might think, okay, why is this newsworthy? Well, it's not just about another celebrity being criticized for her looks or the paps snapping their invasive shots. It's about how this whole circus impacts real people. In this episode, we're going to dissect why Sydney Sweeney is the target of so much criticism and what it reveals about our collective obsession with perfection, privacy, and the blurred line between fame and personal boundaries. Before we start, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into the wild world of celebrity culture. Alright, let's set the stage. Sydney Sweeney, 27, is out in the Florida Keys, enjoying a relaxing day at her $13 million waterfront mansion, getting some sun before the holidays. Sounds like a pretty standard day for someone who works hard in the entertainment industry, right? But when the photos from this private moment were released, people seemed to pause what they were doing and went on to say the first thing that came to their minds. Her bikini-clad body was scrutinized, torn apart by people on social media who had an opinion about her looks. The message: she's not hot enough, she's not special enough, and doesn't live up to the unattainable standard that society has created for her. Opinions like, she looks like every other young woman on a Florida beach, and she looks dumpy, especially for 27, flooded the comment section. Is this really how we talk about someone who has worked their way up in one of the most competitive industries in the world? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What's worse though is how the photos were taken in the first place. These shots were captured with long-range lenses, creeping in from bushes or from far away, capturing intimate, private moments of Sweeney on her own property. You might be wondering, what's the big deal? She's a public figure. This kind of scrutiny comes with a job, right? Well, not quite. This is where the issue of privacy invasion comes in, and why the aggressive nature of paparazzi culture needs to be called out. These aren't just photos snapped during a red carpet event or on the streets. They're taken on her private property, while she's enjoying a moment of peace. So you've hit the jackpot and bought yourself a beautiful waterfront mansion in the Florida Keys. You're living the dream, right? Sun, sand, luxury. But then, every time you step outside to take a dip in your pool or soak up the sun, you realize that there's a photographer lurking in the bushes, camera ready to snap that perfect shot of you lounging around. This might sound like something straight out of a thriller, but for Sydney Sweeney and countless other celebrities, this is their daily reality. Paparazzi have a relentless way of doing their job. Long lenses, tracking devices, even insider tips to know where their target is going to be next. They've created an atmosphere where privacy is basically a foreign concept. While many might argue that these photographers are just doing what they're paid to do, it's hard to ignore the toll their invasive tactics take on the people they're chasing. Celebrities are essentially living in a fishbowl, and the pressure of that constant surveillance isn't just an inconvenience, it can be destructive. Sure, it's easy to say that celebrities signed up for this when they chose a public career, but there's a fine line between being in the spotlight and being relentlessly stalked. And while they may be public figures, it's important to remember that they're still human beings, entitled to privacy, boundaries, and mental peace. This whole paparazzi culture feeds into a much larger issue: the increasingly blurred lines between public and private life. Take a moment to think about what it's like to be scrutinized 24/7. The pressure to look flawless can be overwhelming, and let's face it, the media doesn't always play fair. Paparazzi don't just take candid photos, they control the narrative. The angle, the lighting, and yes, even the editing. What you see in those photos is often far from the reality of the moment. It's not just Sydney Sweeney who faces this. The public has an unhealthy obsession with celebrities' appearances, but they often forget that what they see isn't the full picture. Makeup, camera angles, and post-production play a massive role in shaping how someone looks. So when we look at those imperfect paparazzi shots and pass judgment, we're forgetting the countless hours and effort celebrities put into curating their public image. And let's be real, this doesn't just hurt celebrities. We're all affected by these beauty standards, because society's expectations don't stop at the red carpet. Let's talk about the role we play in all of this. We, as the audience, are just as guilty in keeping this whole paparazzi circus going. I mean, let's be honest, if there wasn't a demand for all those juicy celeb gossip stories, the paparazzi wouldn't have a job. Every time we click on those tabloid articles, share a picture of a celebrity caught in an unflattering moment, or comment on their latest flaw, we're feeding into the problem. We've created this whole entertainment ecosystem that thrives on invading the personal lives of people we don't even know. But let's not kid ourselves. It's not all that bad, right? I mean, we are kind of complicit in the celebrity obsession, and I think we all know it. We can't pretend like we don't secretly enjoy the headlines, "Oops, look at how bad this celebrity's hair to look today," or "Caught off guard, insert celebrity name, has a bad body day." It's all about those clicks, the likes, and the comments. Whether we want to admit it or not, we love it. But here's the thing, each time we interact with that content, we're just pushing the cycle along. We've built this weird culture where we love to see people fall off their pedestals, only to watch them get built back up again. Sure, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. We create these unattainable standards, watch the stars try to live up to them, and then criticize them when they don't. So do we need to rethink how we engage with this? Well, that's the million-dollar question. It's easy to say we should stop demanding more, but honestly, we probably won't. Maybe we should just aim for a little less though. A little less obsession over their every move. Maybe give them a bit of room to be people too, just like we expect for ourselves. That doesn't mean we need to start a celebrity rights movement or anything, but perhaps we could consider this. How would you like it if your every move was scrutinized, all while trying to do your job? Just a thought. So, what can we actually do about it? Honestly, not much. Except stop pretending that we don't play a role in it all. If we all stop engaging with every paparazzi photo and sensationalized story, maybe we'd send the message that we don't need that kind of drama anymore. But will we actually do that? Probably not. The demand's too high, and let's face it, we all want a little peek behind the curtain. But we could make a choice, just maybe a tiny one, to stop focusing so much on a celeb's appearance and instead appreciate their work. You know, their acting, their music, or whatever it is that got them famous in the first place, instead of picking apart their private moments like it's some kind of sport. And as for Sydney Sweeney, she's a talented actress who deserves recognition for what she's worked hard for, not for how her body looks in a bikini, or how her hair falls out of place when she's enjoying a rare moment of peace. She's a human being, just like the rest of us, trying to live her life. And if the paparazzi want to take a picture of that, maybe they should reconsider how far is too far. So what do you think? Are we ready to stop clicking on those invasive stories? Or are we just going to keep feeding the beast? Drop a comment below. Give us a thumbs up if you agree, or if you think we're totally missing the mark. And subscribe for more.